Hello, and welcome to episode 319 of the Casual Tryhard Podcast. I'm Brian,
And I'm James.
and we are picking up Tarkir Dragonstorm. Tarkir Dragonstorm, there you go, words. We're gonna go from red till we're tired.
That's right. Red till we stop. Whenever that is. We
Whenever
got
that
through Woob last week, and we're going to do at least Erg this week.
At least Erg.
Yep.
And maybe some
Mmm.
All right, so if you have some cards you want us to add, you have some thoughts, you have some ideas for some future episodes, let us know. Facebook, Discord, X, Twitter, Blue Sky, email if you're old timey. It's weird that emails now the old timey way to get a hold of
I know,
someone.
right?
All of those links are in the description below. Say hey, let us know what you would like us to talk about, or you're just gonna have to hear me talk about doing 15 teamer only sealed pools on Arena.
Yeah, the sealed format's actually kind of... I don't know. I actually don't know if it's good or not, but I have played a little bit of sealed, and for a long time I stopped. Like way back in the day, I always kind of enjoyed pre-release, so when a set would release on Arena, I'd do a couple sealeds, but I couldn't even tell you the last set I did sealeds for, and I did a couple Mardu ones this time around, and had fun.
Yes, we're gonna get to your part, I swear. But I enjoyed the pre-release, and I did a teamer kit and a Just Guy kit.
Yeah.
And I just enjoyed the teamer one so much. That's also the one that I won my pre-release against people who were like, "I'm going to skip my draw, and I'll skip my draw." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm gonna do like, I was like, oh, I can just pick teamer over and over and over and over and over again. Amazing.
Yep. Sign Brian up.
Yeah, that was great.
So like Brian said, links down below if there's anything you want to hear about, program the show, if you will. If you want to support the show, there's a couple ways you can do that. The first is with our TCG player affiliate link, CasualTryHard.com/TCG. Surf on over there, do your shopping, support the show at the same time. If you want to support us more directly, Patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG is how you can do that. Chip a couple bucks in, you get access to my show notes, so you get a sneak peek about what the episode's going to be about. And you also get access to about another hour-ish of content every week in the form of our unshow. We're old, sometimes our equipment doesn't work, and we always need to catch up. So we spend about an hour before every show checking all those boxes, and we also check another one, and that is recording it to pipe directly into our patrons' ear holes. They seem to enjoy it, so if you want more of us, or if you just want to support the show, like I said, Patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. Chip a couple bucks in, help the show, get access to more of us. It's win-win, really.
It is. All right, so we are gonna start with red.
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. Like, I sent you these cards a while back.
Yeah.
And there's some that, like, I'm looking at the name and I'm like, why did I send this? Oh God. So
Well, I mean,
this one I
feel free to
this one
make
I remember,
changes
though.
if you want to. I can quick scramble to get some images if I need to.
But this one I remembered.
All right.
Channel Dragonfire.
Yep.
So it's red for a sorcery. Channel Dragonfire deals 2 to any target, and it harmonizes for 5 red.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it Firebolt? Is the like kind of equivalent? It's red for deal 2 to a creature,
Mm-hmm.
and then flashback for 5.
Yeah.
So you get some extra flexibility in this of like deal 2 to any target. So player or creature or planeswalker in addition to creature. And while like just bare the harmonized cost is more than the flashback of Firebolt,
Right.
it can get cheaper. Now I know Firebolt is a card that saw play many moons ago.
In a different era.
In a different era. But like we see like they usually have exile attached, but we see like 1 mana deal to see play.
Yeah.
Like they usually have exile and sorcery. So like admittedly, like this is like also some part of like Pillar of Flame, I think, is a sorcery.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and like that has seen play not too long ago. I think it got reprinted or something. So like just like if there are a bunch of like the prowessy aggressive decks around,
Mm-hmm.
right? The fact that you can like pick off like a creature early on, like maybe before they get like a bunch of pumps on it,
Yeah.
and then later in the game, like when they draw that like creature when they have like when their hands empty, you can still like have the ability to like tag it
Mm-hmm.
and maybe get like your last points of damage in because they don't have a blocker or whatever. Like I think this could be useful.
Yeah, I mean, it's awkward that it's sorcery speed.
It is like if it
And
wasn't, it'd be great.
like that's something, not that I've have a ton of limited under my belt so far. I think I'm, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 drafts in, somewhere around there. But all of my decks have had red in some form or another, and like I have definitely been caught off guard that this was a sorcery. Like the removal in this set in general is kind of weird. Like some of it's sorcery, some of it's instant, and like things that I think should probably be instant are sorcery.
Yeah, and things. There's a few things that I'm like, this should like this feels like it should be a sorcery.
Yeah.
Like the like 2 and a black destroy a creature. If it targets a dragon,
Yeah.
it costs 2 more with dragon. Like whenever I get, I'm like, oh yeah, that's an instant.
Yeah.
Like I always like forget. Um, I think they probably, since it's 2025, could have made this an instant.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they were like erring on the side of like ultimate caution.
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of the harmonized cards are sorceries instead of instants.
Yeah. Are there any? I'm trying to think if there are any harmonized cards that are instants.
Yeah.
Like now that you bring it
I
up.
can't think of any off the top of my head, and that might be because they want to like make the harmonize a cost. Like you're not going to attack with this thing, and you're not going to get any use out of it because you have to use it for harmonize. Whereas if they printed a bunch of instants with harmonize, you could leave it up as a blocker and then end a turn, do your harmonize thing.
All of the harmonized cards are
Sorcery.
sorceries.
Okay.
So yeah, so that it very well could be that they wanted it to be a cost, and they didn't want you to like block, harmonize, and then trade.
Right.
You mean like I'll like throw my 2/2 in front of your thing, and then I'll like use it to like as a mana dork. So that's a good point. I had not thought of that. So yeah, but like I think this card like has a chance to see some play, and like we've seen like flashback like cards that are like even not the best. The fact that you get them twice, goes like a super long way in like making them a card that sees play.
Think twice.
Yeah, think twice.
Yep.
I mean, so yeah, but yeah, just the fact that it is like Firebolt, but like, you know, slightly better.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Next up, we have another one of yours, I think. This is Dracogenesis. 6 red for an enchantment. You may cast dragon spells without paying their mana costs.
So this is all props to Saffron Olive. There's a very interesting thing that he noted.
Okay.
Omniscience says from your hand. Cast for free from your hand.
Oh,
this doesn't say that, so he did an against the odds, like one of his like pre-release recording decks.
Yeah.
Where you have the dragon from, I think, like March of the Machines or Phyrexia All-Be-One or one of those, where it's like 5 black, and when you play it, you get to exile a card from your library and then cast it. So basically, he could go like, dragon, like get that dragon a bunch, and then that card gives all of your spells in exile convoke. So then he could get like a Song of Tottenzan, and if he had a red creature, just give all of his dragons that he just played haste and win the game.
Yep.
Or he had like, of course, he had like Terror of the Peaks. Like I think you could have built the deck in a way that was a Terror of the Peaks deck and not a like Song of Tottenham deck. But like, it was just like with the Dragon Tutor.
Yeah.
And like I also can't imagine that this card is not going to be like the EDHest of EDH cards.
Sure.
I don't think this card like is going to do anything real, but like it was an interesting thing that like, oh, this card that tutors and puts it in exile, I get to cast it because this doesn't have that like from your hand writer.
Yeah. I hadn't realized that. It's, I mean, 8 mana's awkward.
8 mana is a lot.
A lot of
like,
mana.
You can cast all of your dragons.
Right. So it really doesn't. I mean, I guess it doesn't ever pay you back because you don't ever get your card back. But like it doesn't pay for itself until you cast 2 dragons, which I guess like in fairness you get to do immediately. But
yeah, like ramp it out and then like dragon time. But yeah, I don't think it's like a constructed card, but like the like go like tutor up something with this dragon and it's kind of like keeping a chain going.
Yeah.
I thought was like interesting. And I don't know if there's like we don't have like there's that oh no, what was that card? I guess it was a storm spell that like let you go get dragons.
DragonStorm?
Was it DragonStorm?
I think so.
Yes, it is DragonStorm. Duh.
Yeah.
But yeah, we don't have something like that.
Yeah.
To like just get dragons.
Yep. And I think like for constructed sake, I don't know why you'd go through the effort of ramping this out when you could just ramp out Omniscience. Like, I mean, the like Chain of Dragons is kind of cool, but there's once you get to like that level of mana and you're casting a do nothing enchantment, there's probably more shenanigans you can get up to with Omniscience than Dracogenesis.
True.
All right. The next one we have is Fleeting Effigy. This is a single red mana, 2/2 haste. At the beginning of your end step, return this creature to its owner's hand. And 2 in a red, it gets +2/+0 till end of turn. I put this on here mainly because I just kind of wanted to, not necessarily talking about Fleeting Effigy, but this card in general, because we've gotten a few versions of it recently. Like the OG one was obviously Goblin Guide, where it's just a red mana for a 2/2 with haste.
Oh yeah,
with like downside or whatever.
And then there was the whatever Ronin.
Yeah, that was reinforced Ronin from Kamigawa. Yes. Bounced back to your hand, similar to this. We had that, like, was it Wayward Guide Beast or whatever? Was another version of this.
You had to pick up a land.
Yeah, it was bad. And we had the original Zergo, or not. I guess not the original, but the mini Zergo. Yeah, the one red dash guy. And like of those, obviously Goblin Guide saw play, but I don't even know if it does anymore. And Zergo saw some play in standard. But I don't think either of those other 2 did. I'm not sure if this guy is going to. I just kind of wanted to compare it to like some of the other stuff that's out there. Maybe talk about like the design philosophy. Like, is this card something that we're gonna keep seeing, or like is even beneficial to a format? Like, I don't know why they keep printing it.
So you wanted reinforced Ronin because it was an artifact that let you get your artifact synergies every turn. So like, you got like first turn you get in for your 2, second turn maybe you played like Dragonspark Reactor. Yeah. And now you have this 1 mana
charge it up
artifact that triggers that or whatever other artifact synergies you have. Fleeting Effigy is probably here because it's a 1 mana spell that you get to cast every turn to turn on Flurry.
Turn on Flurry. I didn't think of that.
So to turn on Flurry, you want like a 1 mana spell plus you want something plus a 1 mana spell.
Yeah.
And this is a 1 mana spell that like goes back to your hand. It's basically, what was that test card? How to keep an Is It Mage busy?
Yeah.
Right? It's just like blue-red hybrid, put this card back in your hand.
Yeah.
Right? It's basically that, right?
Pretty similar to
like 1 mana, play it, get half of your flurry,
Yeah.
play something else, then get your flurry bonuses. So
Yeah.
I think they're gonna keep like printing like um like things like this that are like I'm going to like
Keep it as a
trigger
mage
your
busy.
yeah, exactly. And like making it like a 2/2 aggressive creature like makes sense in red.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole like you play it, you get some damage, but then you like get it back. Like it's kind of like a shock you recycle, but then a shock that stops working
Right.
when your opponent plays a 3/3.
It's a broken shock.
I will play. Yeah, I will play Teamer whatever guy, the one in the blue 3/3.
Yeah.
I will play this. Your shock no longer works.
Right.
Good luck. But yeah, I think that's why they keep doing it is because it's enabling something else.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought of that. I guess like that makes sense, especially with this guy in this set, because there's a few cards that care about like a spell and a creature.
Mm-hmm.
So this helps with that too.
And it can see your creature. I think that like, but like it is at that power level that it is like it's close, right? It's not quite constructed. Like it might not quite be constructed playable, but it's like right on the like edge.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the problem is like the red decks are like multiple things that are like when you target me, put a +1/+1 counter on me. So like you get to like 2/2 no drawback.
Yeah.
Pretty quick.
Yeah, and like the 1-drops that red already has are way better than this. So
yeah, but like I think that like we're gonna keep getting these when they like enable like a limited archetype or a limited theme.
Yeah.
So like I said, the Ronin in this basically triggered things that mattered. So like if there's like, could you see like some sort of like if somehow like red white was the constellation colors in a set, right? Where they have like an enchantment version of this.
Yeah.
By that time, this will be like a 3/4 double striking haster, right?
Probably.
But they'll have something like that where they play it and it's like, okay, it's gonna trigger all of my constellation stuff to like buff my things.
I know you said you did a whole bunch of sealed. Did you play against this at all? Like, was anybody running this in their deck?
So I've played against it I played against it a couple times in sealed. I had played. If you listen to the pre-show, you got to hear how little Aether Drift I played.
Yeah.
So I was in bronze.
Yeah.
I definitely ran into like some people that were like, I love me a blockable shock.
Gotcha.
And like sometimes if they had like the rest of the deck to back up blockable shock, and I was like, not casting a spell on turn 1, 2, or 3.
Right.
Sometimes blockable shock ended up being okay.
Yeah.
But it does definitely like get to be like you got to cast it a few times, but then like it's just stuck in your hand.
Yeah.
So like I think like in the martyr decks, it is damage, but like it becomes a blank pretty quick.
Yeah. I hadn't seen it at all. That's why I was asking.
Yeah. A few times. Like I said, in bronze draft, whew, people love it.
All right. What do we got next here?
We got Magmatic Hellkite, 2 red for a 4/5 flying dragon. And when it enters, destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls. Its controller searches their library for a basic land, puts it on the battlefield tapped with a stun counter on it, then shuffles. So, first, stun counter on a land. Right? Like, kind of land destruction, kind of not, or like skirting that line.
Right.
And 2, they were like, no more Buzz Crusher. We have to go back to targeting the land. So they were like, we're sick of Lotus Field.
Yep.
And now they're like, it's fine. I just think it's funny. Like, can we pick a templating, people?
Right.
Like,
pick
do
one
you
and
want to
stick to it.
Yeah, like, this is better than Buzz Crusher.
Yeah.
But since it targets, it probably won't ever see play.
Probably not.
So.
What was Cindermaw something? Wasn't there a card in Modern Horizons?
There was that had like it had some weird.
Like everybody thought that it was gonna just kill Tron, and
Yeah, it was like the Tron Buster thing. Yeah. There's a lot of things that say Cinder, so, but it's not that. We could look up modern. I know the exact card you're talking about.
yeah,
It is red. It is from Modern Horizons 2.
it's either 2 or 3, I think.
All right, so let's find the sets here. Boop. Modern Horizons numero dos. All right. Yeah, it was something where like it can't, if they controlled a land that made like colorless mana,
Yeah, something like that.
it like did a thing. Obsidian Charma.
That's what it was.
3 red for a 4/4. When this spell costs 1 less to cast for each land your opponent controls that could produce colorless flying. When it enters, destroy target non-basic land an opponent controls.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's similar. But like I don't know. It was, hey, we need this card to not target.
Yeah.
Because we want it to be able to like deal with Lotus Field, and now we're like back to card that can't deal with Lotus Field, which like from a like how the Magic rules work, this is better.
Yes.
But like I don't know, like could it be like they sacrifice the non-basic land?
Yeah, that'd work.
Where then you could get around like, you know,
well,
like you could.
You couldn't target it though to say sacrifice that land.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you could maybe like clip your Lotus Field or whatever. But yeah. I don't know, I just thought it was funny that we like have changed the temp planning, but like I don't know, but like I'm also just blowing off a 4/5 flyer for 4. Like this is just like where things are in the world.
Yeah, I mean a 4/5 flying for 4 isn't what it used to be either, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's just kind of like it's a 4/5 flyer for 4. Like
there's another one in this set, isn't there?
Maybe.
I think it's isn't there one of the Omen cards is like a.
Oh. There's a 4/4 flyer for 4 that has like a wrath attached to it in black.
I thought it was
then
red.
There's a gold one of the spirit dragons.
Yeah, I don't remember what I was thinking.
Yeah, but like it's funny that a 4/5 flyer for 4 is just like, I think there's an uncommon that does this.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where it is now, but yeah.
What do we got next?
Let's see here. Next up, we have Seize Opportunity. 2 and a red for an instant. Choose one. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your next turn. You may play those cards, or up to 2 creatures each get +2/+1 till end of turn. Did we talk about this cycle last week?
We started to.
Okay.
I don't know if we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
There might have been another red one that we used in its spot, or we couldn't find the red one or something. So Seize Opportunity, like it is the first ability has been established to cost 2 mana.
Right.
And I don't know what the second ability should cost.
No, I mean the second ability is
2?
basically Trumpet Blast, which is 2.
Well, Trumpet Blast is all of your creatures.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. Yep. You're right.
So like maybe this costs 2. So it's like 2 mana spells smushed together. And like I don't know if
for versatility, I guess.
Yeah, you're paying for the versatility, but like the versatility is like they don't go together.
Right.
I don't know, like I'd almost rather have like the 2 cards are like a shatter or something where like
yeah,
maybe like maybe you could like kind of have like a situational sideboard card that's also a draw card or something.
Yeah,
But like,
I mean, is it? I guess I don't really know what kind of home this would play in. I guess the mice decks, this
where like you,
might be interesting in, because you could charge up 2 guys
yeah,
or
fair.
find some gas. But
Like
like,
if you draw it and you have no creatures, it's like
yeah,
okay, I at least get to dig. Okay.
um I think the problem with that though is like this is way worse than anything that it would replace.
Yeah, at like as like a pump spell, it's way worse because that deck often is like maybe you have 2 lands on the battlefield, you can get to 3.
Yeah,
But like if it's in your hand and you like just need any pump spell,
right.
like, but like I guess there is no other pump spell that would do that. Like kind of lets you draw 2 cards if there's nothing on the board.
Right.
So I guess that's like kind of it's good case is hey, this gives me a bailout
Mhm.
if I've been wrathed or whatever.
Yeah.
But it might just be too like bad at the pump spell part to
Yeah.
make up for the flexibility in that deck.
Mhm.
And then a lot of the decks that want access to cards don't want
They don't care about a pump spell.
they don't care about a pump spell exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where you'd put this. So, I don't think it's great.
Nor do I. Okay, what is this next one?
This is Stadium Headliner. A single red mana for a 1/1 Goblin Warrior with Mobilize 1. And you can pay 1 in a red and sacrifice it to have it deal damage equal to the number of creatures you control to target creature.
In like the Convoke decks,
Mhm.
right? Like it kind of like their 1-drops are often things that like are making an artifact for
Yeah.
whatever our like knockoff Kadaltha Rebirth is.
Mhm.
Gleeful Demolition. But like the fact that this like just comes like with a reasonable removal spell strapped to it,
Yep.
where like you've gone wide, like you like play this, you know, you get in your 2, and then you're like, okay, like I'll dump out a bunch of creatures, and oh no, they played a blocker. It's like, okay, like I'll attack, get my like idiot with mobilize, and then throw this guy
Yeah.
at whatever the thing is. So like it gives you, it's kind of like what is the Case of the Gateway Express? Is that what it is? The white one that deals damage to a creature equal to like the number of creatures you control.
Yeah.
Like this is that gets to attack and convoke stuff out.
Well, I mean, it only kind of convokes stuff out. Like, you're not going to get the mobilize unless you attack with it, and then
But what I mean,
that creature goes away at the end of the turn.
Yeah, but what I mean is like, Case of the Gateway Express can never be tapped.
Sure.
To like, but like you could like play this, and then convoke, like use it to convoke.
Yeah.
And like not attack but convoke.
I gotcha.
Where like Case of the Gateway Express can't do that. Now, granted, Case of the Gateway Express like does become like an anthem at some point, but like it just gives that deck maybe another card to consider in the one drop spot.
I can see that. What about the fact that like it's a 1-mana goblin that makes more goblins? Like
goblins always like more goblins,
right?
It
Is that
make
worth
a goblin,
anything?
Though. It makes it.
Oh,
it
that's
makes
true.
Warrior.
It makes a warrior, not a goblin.
I mean, like 1-mana goblins like are valuable just for their typing. Like it would be better if it made a goblin.
Yeah, I guess I missed that. When I put it on here, I thought it made a goblin. That's kind of what I was thinking. Is like, is a goblin entering and leaving every turn worth something? But not a goblin. So
I mean, yeah, it would be like with like Skirk Prospector or something.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I get like a mana every turn out of this. Like, okay, that's pretty cool.
All right, moving on from red to green. We have Bloomvine Regent. This is 3 green for a 4/5 dragon with an omen called Claim Territory. 2 and a green for a sorcery omen. Search your library for up to 2 basic forest cards, reveal them, put one onto the battlefield tapped, the other into your hand, and then the creature side is flying. Whenever this creature or another dragon you control enters, gain 3 life.
I mean, the fact that one of the things about ramp decks is like you can draw too much ramp and not enough payoffs, or not enough payoffs, or like payoffs and no ramp.
Right.
The fact that this is not really like a huge ramp payoff, but it is like one of those bridge cards.
It's significantly better than like a 3 mana get 2 lands is on turn 8.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like you wouldn't look at like, you know, a 5 mana 4 or 5 that gains you 3 life as like, oh, this is my big ramp payoff.
Yeah.
But it's one of those cards that you like ramp on turn 3, and then on turn 4 it's like your like wall, your like brick wall, plus like it gains you some life to help stabilize.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, on turn 8, I'd much rather draw this than cultivate.
Yes.
The downside is like it really pushes you to like be a heavy green deck because it only lets you get forests. It doesn't like fix your mana.
Yeah, I mean, how many times are you casting this as the cultivate though? Like maybe twice?
Yeah, more along the lines of like, if you're like, let's say your payoff is like the big dumb teamer 8-drop dragon, right? Well, if it just won't let you get the mountain.
Oh, it won't fix your mana. Yeah,
it won't fix your mana.
Yeah.
So like, it's like, hey, are your payoffs green or Ugani?
Right.
Great. This like helps you do that.
Yeah.
Now the mana's probably good enough in standard that like you can play like your other colors on like your non-basic lands, and like, you know, by the time you have to cast your 8-drop, you better have your.
Yeah, you're probably all right.
You're probably all right, but that is kind of like what could be a possible drawback is like, hey, like this doesn't fix your mana, but like playing this against like a red deck or something, and like if you get to turn 5,
yeah,
right, like you're in a good way of like, okay, now like this is a thing that they're gonna have a hard time getting through, and it gave me 3 life. And like, God help you if you have like if you like play 2 of these, then
right.
It's just like, oh, I gained 9 life this turn or whatever. Great.
Yeah.
Or 6 life.
Have you run up against this in limited?
I mean, I've played it a few times and I've played against it. Like, it's good.
I was gonna say it's destroyed me in limited.
Yeah, like if you get like even the first trigger is like fine.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about the whatever the green common is that like enters and gives you 3 life.
Yeah.
That card's perfectly fine. The fact that this makes all of your dragons give you life is just like, oh, neat.
Icing
I get
on the
to
cake.
like keep playing this game.
Yep. So I'm gonna ask kind of a follow-up question here.
Okay.
This was one of the cards out of Discord.
Okay.
And I believe they are trying to build a dragon deck.
Okay.
Which is why they were interested in some maybe
dragons.
Well, some maybe like less than playable otherwise dragons. Do we think there may be like a dragon deck, like something that's obviously, I don't think it's going to be tier 1, but something at least playable to bring to FNM or something?
I don't know what all the like, if we just like kind of look at standard dragons, I don't know what all of the like standard dragons are right now, but like I think the thing that helps you dragon wise for like an FNM thing is you have, let's say, like Decadent Dragon. It's a 4 mana 4/4, right? Whatever, flying trample from Wilds of Eldraine, but it has 3 mana adventure on it.
Yeah.
Right? Like we have a bunch of dragons that are set up to be dragons
or spells,
but also spells.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna like, you can like take a hand of like a ton of dragons, but you also have like 4 interactive spells
Yeah.
in your hand as well. So like I think that is what will probably give you. Oh, I'm only looking at red dragons, so let's go back. I was like, why aren't there more? Like there should be more. Um, but like you have that to help. There you go. Now there are 70 dragons.
There you go.
But like you have this that is ramp. You have the green black one that is like an okay removal spell.
Mm-hmm.
You like so you have enough things that give you outs to be able to like use your mana at all points.
Yeah.
That like I could see maybe there being, something where like I want to play dragons, but you're playing a very specific way,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be like I'm going to be using adventures or
Omens to control the board, and then eventually you'll
and
take
then I'm
over.
going to stick something later on.
Yeah.
But like I think this, and again like we'll talk about it again later, the white one with like the roast attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that they gain you life.
Yeah.
So like you're like, hey, I like removal spell, ramp spell, play big thing that gains me some life. Now I'm kind of like stable, and then this game can go on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you could get somewhere in like the like I think it'd be like kind of rampy dragons where you have where you're like leaning on some 5-drops to kind of bridge you to maybe like whatever you think your big dragon is.
Yeah.
That you're like you're a big dragon of choice, like even like a 5-drop the Abzan spirit dragon. That's a perfectly fine thing to play like as your 5-drop. But then the 8-drop Teamer dragon that is kind of Dragon Lord Atarka, and you're just like kill all of your stuff. Like if you get there, like the fact that you're like big thing is also like a wrath.
Yeah.
Is good. So yeah, like I think you could do it, but like I think you kind of have to decide like what colors you want to be / like, or am I just going to like do the whole like 5-color like, because like Meringue River Regent is like a heck of a card if you're like a little behind. You're just like pick up your idiots.
Yep.
Okay, now I have a 6/7.
Definitely.
So like there's enough things, or like the black one, the Scavengers Regent, that's like I have like a bad wrath attached to me.
Yeah.
So I think there's enough ways that you can put it together where you have enough early interaction. But I don't know, is there like there's not like a reduce the cost of dragons card, is there?
I don't think there is. The
like a Dragon Lord Servant?
I mean, you have the globe. It doesn't really
Yeah.
reduce the cost of dragons, but it taps for mana and makes your dragons bigger. Although I don't like, if you're playing dragons, you really don't need them to be bigger.
Yeah.
I do kind of like your idea of a more like big mid-range / control deck where your dragons are just your spells, and then eventually you start playing them as dragons. I kind of like that idea a little bit better than just a ramp deck.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you like have the, with like how good like the mono red decks are in standard. I don't think you have the luxury of like
just ramping.
I'm going to take turn 3 and turn 4 off to go big.
Yeah.
Now get someone like, that is like doing a slower thing, like maybe you do get to do that. But I don't know if you can like do that with against mono red, like maybe against like, I guess the question is like, does domain go too big for you? Right? Like,
yeah, probably.
Yeah, like, so like I don't think you can like out ramp domain.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to be a little under them, but like still a little bit bigger than. But like you have the, what is it? The green dragon that's like like a Rex Sage. Like that would
Yeah.
be like a good card to have access to against like domain, because you're like, okay, I'll get your ley line, I'll get your up the beanstalk. And like it's not embarrassing against like mono red, you're just like, I guess kill your thing.
Yeah.
And shuffle it. Like I don't care about the 5-drop side. I will like cast 2 mana, kill your thing.
Right.
Like all day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think leaning into that aspect where you're like, yeah, I have dragons, but they're also all of my spells.
Yeah.
And just pick the dragons you like.
Mm-hmm. I like that idea. I might actually play with that idea a little bit.
Yay!
Next one is a card we talked a little bit about in the pre-show. This is Craterhoof Behemoth. 5 triple green for a 5/5 beast with haste. When it ETBs, creatures you control gain trample and +X till end of turn, where X is the number of creatures you control. I think everybody...
Poof, there it is.
That's right. I think everybody knows what Craterhoof does. Everybody's seen a Craterhoof. It is kind of wild that we're at a point where this is fine to be in standard.
Yeah, and like no one's really like, oh man, Craterhoof.
Yeah. That's kind of wild.
Like, oh, Craterhoof's in standard.
What I was kind of interested in was we have like almost all of 2016 Modern Elves legal and Pioneer now.
Just like Heritage Druid, right?
Heritage Druid, Nettle Sentinel, yeah.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the Heritage Druid Nettle Sentinel, big deal, but like you do have like that core where you're like, it was Coco and Cord, and then just a bunch of elfy idiots.
Yeah, and like my deck ran the Shaman of the Pax also as like an alternate to Hoof Daddy.
And then like you also have Circle of Dreams Druid as kind of like, it's not nearly as good, but like, you know, kind of a knockoff, either like
Archdruid's legal, isn't it?
You have Archdruid, but like as another thing to make big mana as like Heritage Druid. Like, hey, I need a thing to make me like 7 mana.
Yeah.
Like Circle of Dreams Druid can kind of do that. And then there's the thing that like when you cast a creature spell, pay green and draw a card. So you have like kind of some ways to like it's a slightly different deck. It's not quite as explosive, but you do have all the pieces.
Yeah.
So there's another thing. You just be on Explorer, like seeing if like old new elves is good.
Maybe we'll get there.
There's Boomer Jund, and now there's Boomer Elves.
Boomer Elves. Just got to knock it back a format.
Yeah, there you go. Like you just have to keep getting a smaller and smaller card pool until the elves are good again.
Make elves great again.
Make elves great again. Mega.
All right. What's this one?
Herd Heirloom. So it's 1 in the green for an artifact that is tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. And then it has tap until end of turn. Target creature you control with power 4 or greater gains trample. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card.
I think this was another...
this was a Discord one.
Yeah, listener submission. I'm assuming this is for the same deck as the dragons were.
I mean, could be. But, like, this card... Right, there's been, like, a rule in, like, Magic where, hey, we're not going to make 2 mana rocks.
Right.
They're too good. This is a 2 mana rock that has a restriction, but that restriction, at least in, like, standard Magic, isn't that much of a restriction.
Yeah, I mean, right? Even going back, it's not a huge restriction. There were decks that certainly played Ancient Ziggurat.
Yeah. But, so, like, I think that you have a, like, 2 mana rock, which is powerful, which could do a thing. And then, like, I don't think that the second part is, like, trinket text. Like, at least in Limited, I totally ruined some people with the, like, I'll just, like, draw 3 extra cards this game because I have, like, a bunch of mana.
Yeah.
So, I think both sides of it are fine. the 2 mana rock aspect of it is like interesting because we've gotten some recently that have like worse drawbacks.
Yeah.
Like this isn't that big of a drawback. Like I think like they're like towing the line.
It's also costs a green mana to play.
True. Like it puts it in the deck that already has ramp.
Right.
Right? Like cuz this could easily be one in the green, a 1/3 that taps for green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that'd be a common, not a rare.
Yeah. So it might. It's also awkward that the 3 drops in like black green in standard and in like red green and like pioneer
Mm-hmm.
are so good.
Yeah.
Right? You want to go elf into 3, not 2 into 4.
Right.
Right? And so like it's a little awkward that like there's not a ton of 4 drops. You're like, ooh, I gotta like get to that.
Yeah, hurry up and get my whatever out.
Yeah, there's
boy.
a
Shielded.
there is a 4 mana 5/5 that is like an okay limited card.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, this card is just fine. And it's a 4 mana 5/5.
Yep.
And you're just like, yeah, I don't care about this. So yeah, like it might be kind of in that like awkward spot of it's just not good enough. But I do like your like the creature version of this is a common,
Not a rare.
not a rare.
Yep.
So I guess don't let it trick you. Like it's doing the same thing but can't block.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe in like a standard game, the second text is more trinkety.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like, see, I don't know what kind of deck it would go in because it'd be kind of contradictory, but like an artifact is less interactable than a creature is.
Mm-hmm.
And this could like trigger things that care about non-creature spells. But how many of those are you going to have in a deck full of creatures so that you can use the mana?
So this actually works, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah, like I think it's a pretty decent limited card,
mm-hmm.
but like I know the Kiss of Death is a pretty good limited card. But...
yeah. All right, we got one more green card.
Yep.
And I believe this is one of yours.
This is mine. This is my every like so many sets I have to let everyone know. So this is Heritage Reclamation. It's 1 in the green for an instant. Choose one. Destroy target artifact. Destroy target enchantment. Exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. Draw a card.
Draw a card.
So, when was it Return to Nature?
Mm-hmm.
The one with the pumpkin on the art?
Yep.
When it came out, I was like, hey, no more playing Naturalize if you're like, I need to like a way to blow up an artifact or enchantment in green. No more Naturalize because now you get Graveyard Hate.
Yep.
This card, more or less, has Destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, Graveyard Hate, / Cycling 2.
Right.
So there was a time, if you remember, when Cameron was playing Infect, and there was like 1 in a green, destroy an artifact.
Yeah.
Cycling for green, and that card like got played in Modern. Now, granted, this was 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Same era as my Elves deck.
Same era as your Elves deck. Hey, 6-7 years ago is 18-19. So Elves is yeah. But like this is now just your best version of like Naturalized Return to Nature.
Yeah. And
like the fact that it cycles gives you that out when you don't need it. And I know it doesn't cycle, it needs a target, yada yada yada. But like, how many games of Magic do you play that there is nothing in the graveyard? Because it's not like
this doesn't need a target. It's up to 1 target.
Oh, is it up to? Oh, it's up to. Oh my gosh! It doesn't even need a target. Okay, yeah. It just has cycling 2.
Yep.
So like, it's choose 1, destroy an artifact, destroy an enchantment, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, or draw a card. It's like choose one of those.
Right.
Right. Like That's really good.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need this kind of effect, this is now the best one.
Definitely.
And we will, in another year or two, it'll also have plummet attached to it.
Yeah.
It'll just get longer, or it'll say choose up to 2.
We'll call it Choose Your Own Adventure, and it's 5 modes. Pick one.
Yeah. It's just yeah, there you go. It'll do everything.
Yep.
So yeah, this is the best version of this card now.
Yep.
By a long shot.
Yep. I think we call it there for the week.
We're about 50 minutes in. We can call it there.
Yeah. Well, the next section's going to take longer than.
Fair.
So I think we call it there and pick up next week.
Sounds good. So again, you already said it, but I think we got a show.
We got a show.
So if you have cards you want us to add, particularly in the multicolor section, and there are a good number of them, you can let us know. Facebook, Discord, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. Email, Blue Sky, all those things linked in the description. Say hey, and let us know what you want us to talk about.
Yep, hit us up. If you're looking to support the show, as always, there's 2 ways to do it. First, with our TCG Player affiliate link, CasualTryHard.com/TCG. Go to TCG Player following that link. Do whatever shopping you're going to do. Support the show at the same time. Doesn't cost you anything extra. The other way is via our Patreon, patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG. Surf on over there, chip a couple bucks in. You get access to our show notes. You get access to our unshow, which is about another hour of content out of us every week. And you get to support the show. So if that sounds good, like I said, patreon.com/CasualTryHardMTG.
So with that, we'll catch you on the internets.
We'll catch you on the internets.